Okay, good morning, children. We are continuing with the next class. The topic name is microevolution. What we called microevolution. We discussed about adaptive radiation, Darwin finches, okay, and marsupial Australians and the placental mammals like that. Adaptive radiation examples we discussed. Now, next in this chapter, continuation. What is the continuation? Microevolution. We are going to discuss. So, microevolution, small scale evolution. Small scale evolution. This is a point you should have to remember. Okay. So, microevolution refers to the change in the changes in the what we called allele, changes in the allele frequencies. Changes in the allele frequencies you should have to, okay, frequencies within a population, small changes in the allele frequencies within a population. So due to the why these changes are happening, due to the fundamental forces, what we called fundamental forces. This point you should have to remember, of evolution, fundamental forces of evolution, such as what you called natural selection, natural such as natural selection, genetic drift, and mutation and gene flow, So why changes are happening in the what you call allele frequencies? What is allele? Alternate form of gene. What is allele? First you have to remember, alternate form of genes. Alternate form of genes is called allele. Suppose, for example, capital T is a gene and allele is small t, like this. Alternate form of the gene is called alleles. So what is the why these alleles changes happening in allele frequencies? Due to natural selection, due to genetic drift, due to mutations, due to genetic gene flow. So because of these what you called changes are happening, microevolution is happening. So now one by one we will be discuss about this microevolutions. Okay, these all concepts we are discussing. First one is natural selection. You know very well, natural selection. Nature will be select the best one. Okay, it occurs. Okay, one allele. Remember this one. One allele, one gene, alternate forms. Okay, alternate form of the genes makes an organism. Makes an organism. Remember this one. Makes an organism more or less fit. More or less fit. Okay, less fit to survive. And what you called reproduce in a given environment. Point you should have to remember. In a given environment. What is that one? One allele makes an organism more or less fit to survive and produce in a given environment. Next one, if an allele, okay, alternate form, if an allele reduces, what you call reduces fitness, what will happen? Its frequency, okay, frequencies, this point you should have to remember. Its frequencies, okay, tend to drop from one generation to next generation, one generation to next generation. This point also you should have to remember. Okay, so now most important thing is allelic frequencies only important. Okay, these are you should have to remember. For example, one gene's alleles frequencies, one gene, okay, one gene's allele frequencies. Okay, this point also you should have to remember. Frequencies, one gene allele frequencies might be modified, might be modified, might be modified, okay, might be modified by both, by both, okay, gene flow and genetic drift, and genetic drift also. What is gene flow movement? Genetic drift meant by the chance some survive, that is called genetic drift for another gene, for another gene. Okay, this point also you should have to remember. So mutation may be produced, very important, mutations produce a new allele, new allele. Okay, mutation produce new allele that is favored by, what you call, favored by natural selection. That is favored by natural selection. Okay, children, observe very carefully. What we are discussing is the small micro evolution, small scale evolution or micro evolution. The small changes in the allele frequencies within a population or creates the evolution. That kind of evolution is called microevolution. What is allele? Alternate form of genes. In this allele frequencies, small changes leads to microevolution. So fundamental force of evolution, such as, what are the main reason for the microevolution? Fundamental forces: number one, natural selection, genetic drift, mutation, gene flow. You know, natural selection. Nature will conduct the so many tests. In that test, who will be fit or who will be struggle, they will only selected by the nature. And this nature also creates the changes in the alleles. How you see, suppose natural selection, one allele is there, this allele makes an organism more or less fit to survive and reproduce in a given environment. If an allele reduces the fitness, its frequency tend to drop from one generation to next generation. Suppose if any reasons allele reduces fitness, its frequencies tend to drop from one generation to next generation. This allele will be not in the next generations. For example, and one more thing, one gene's allele frequencies might be modified by both gene flow and gene drift for another gene. So one gene, another gene. So this gene will be changes to this another gene allele frequency, another gene by the which one, gene flow and genetic drift. So one thing this have to remember, one gene's allele frequencies might be modified, means changed by both gene flow and genetic drift for another genes. One gene will be changed by gene flow and genetic drift of for another genes. This also leads to what you call, which one is a good character, that can only will be survive. So mutations, mutation, you know, in the mutations new alleles will become, these new alleles will be, new changes means new alleles will be formed. This is favored by which one? Natural selection, which is favored by natural selection. So what I said, one allele can change the either fit or less fit to survive and reproduce in given environment. If allele reduces fitness, it also drop into the next generation. That allele will not be there. One genes can change the another gene through the gene flow or genetic drift. Mutations may be main reasons for the new alleles formation, and they are favored by which one? Natural selection. So we are going to see the what you called the selection. There are mainly three types of natural selection. What are the three types of natural selections? We know stable, another one is directional, another one is disruptive selections are there. That one we are going to discuss now. Okay, children, observe very carefully. This is the most important concepts. Okay, children, observe carefully. Mainly three types of natural selections. Three types of natural selection. Three types of natural selection. First one is stabilizing. Stabilizing, what is called natural selection. Stabilizer natural selection. Okay, children, observe very carefully. This type of selection, okay, this type of selection operates in a stable environment, where it will be operates in stable environment. This one is first point. Okay, organisms average phenotypes survive. Average phenotypes survive. Okay, and extremes and extreme individuals. Extreme individuals. Okay, extreme individuals from what you called from both the ends. From the both ends are what you called eliminated. Both ends are eliminated. This point you should have to remember. Okay, there is no speciation. No speciation. There is no speciation, but the what you call phenotypic stability. Phenotypic stability. This one you have to remember. Is maintained. Okay, within the population. Within the population. This point you should have to within the population over generation. This point you should have to remember. Over generation. For examples, here I am telling the most important examples we are going to discuss. So, sparrows. You know very well, sparrows. Okay, sparrows that survived storm. Sparrows which are survived in storm. Survived in the storm. Okay, storm clustered. Okay, around the mean. Okay, around the mean, and the sparrows failed the storm clustered sparrows. Okay, failed. Okay, to survive the storm clustered around the extremes of the variations. Okay, variation showing stabilizing selection. This one you should have to. For example, I am drawing the diagram. You see, first one. Okay, you see the picture like this. The picture will be there. So this both are okay. This is the mean. So this one will be eliminate. This one will be eliminate. Only what you called middle one only. survive means that is called stabilizing. This is extremes, this is extreme, this is extreme. So these extremes are vanished. When which one only survived? Medium only will be survive. Okay, that is one of the important. Now you see what is called, one more time I am giving explanation for this. Stabilizing, natural selection, stable environment, it will be appear in the stable environment. So it average phenotype is survive, and extreme individuals, so average phenotype only survive. Extreme individuals, what is called, eliminated. Both the ends are eliminated. No speciation, but the only phenotypic stability only is maintained within the population. This phenotypic external features only maintain the population over the generation. For example, sparrows survived in storm clustered. So here the sparrows which are storm clustered around the bean only survived. In extreme conditions, what happened around the extreme, the variation showing what you call eliminated. Sparrows failed. What you called here the mentioned failed to survive the storm cluster around the extremes. Here they vanished. Okay, this kind of selection, which one is near to being the sparrows only survived. That is a best example of what you called stabilizing selection. And one more example, you see the man. Not tall people, not too many. Not dwarf people, not too many. So who are many? Medium, what you called, medium or middle size. Okay, medium size people only more number, means nature selected middle sized or medium size or medium tall people only, selected by nature. Too much tall also not there, too much dwarf also not there. You will see maximum number middle tall or medium sized people are more. That kind of selection is called, what is called, stable natural selection. So next, one more selection is there, that is called directional selection. What is called directional selection. That point you should have to remember. What is directional selection? Okay, children, observe very carefully. I am giving the one more types of natural selection we are discussing. The second one is directional selection. Directional selection. What is this directional selection? Very simple, you see. So the environment which undergoes gradual changes. The environment will undergo gradual changes. Undergoes gradual changes. Undergoes gradual changes is subjected to. It leads to which one? Directional selection. Directional selection. This point you should have to remember. So next one, this type of selection removes the. This type of selection, what it will do? Selection removes. Very important word. You should have to remember. This type of selection removes. Okay, the individuals. Removes the individuals. Okay, removes the individuals from what you called, from, okay, one end towards this point you should have to remember. One end towards the other end. This point you should have to remember. Other end of phenotypic distribution. Okay, what is mentioned? That removes the individual from one end towards the other end. Phenotypic distribution. For example, size difference between the male and female sparrows. So for I am telling, male and female sparrows. Male and female sparrows you take. These male and female sparrows, size difference is there. Okay, so male and female sparrows, size difference. Okay, look like extremely but different body weight. Look alike extremely, look alike extremely, okay, extremely, but differ in what you called, but differ in what you called body weight, body weight. So observe very carefully, body weight. Female shows what you called, female shows directional selection, directional, okay, directional selection. Female shows the directional selection in relation to, in relation to body weight, in relation to body weight. This point you should have to remember. For example, I am showing the picture like this. So now see, this is a medium, okay now. But here females are body weight is selected and supporting by the natural selection. So females are growing perfectly, showing the direction selection in relation to body weight. So male and females parent size difference look like extremely but different body weights. The female shows, females only more, okay, why? Because they are according to the conditions they're able to survive. So that's why the females are showing direction selection. So like this direction will be there, the females are showing directional selection in related to body weight. One more, for example, DDT resistant what you called mosquitoes are there. DDT resistant mosquitoes. They are resistance. They got resistance. That's why they will be grow without any disturbances. That means nature is selected which have the which one resistance. Which are not unresistance, they will be extremely die. And what you call which have the resistance, which got the resistance, those only selected by the nature, and they will be go towards to the extremes, go towards to the what you call directional. So this is another example of which one, the directional selection. So the last one is there, what you call the last one, destructive selection. What you call the destructive selection. Here which one resistance is there, that is showing the growth, means that is showing one direction, in one direction, resistance direction they are moving, that is called directional selection. The body weight of females also compare with the size, okay, that is more flexibility to survive, means that is called directional selection. Next another important one, what you call disruptive selection. Disruptive selection. What is the meaning of disruptive selection? Observe very carefully. So it is also called, what is another name of this one, centrifugal selection. What is called centrifugal selection. Observe carefully. When homogeneous environment, homogeneous environment, this is one more important, homogeneous environment, okay, okay, homogeneous environment changes into heterogeneous environment. Heterogeneous environment. Homogeneous environment when changes into heterogeneous environment, then this type of selection is operational. This type of selection is disruptive. Okay, this type of selection will be operative. This type of selection is operational. Okay, observe very carefully. So operational. The organisms both extremes phenotypes, both extremes phenotypes selected by extremes phenotype. Okay, both extremes phenotypes are selected. Whereas another important point, individuals with, okay, individuals with extremes, especially remember very carefully, individuals, okay, These are which shows the extreme phenotype. Individuals with extreme phenotype only, extreme phenotypes only selected. Whereas individuals, this point you have to remember. Average phenotype, individuals, average phenotype eliminated. This point you should have to remember. Okay, average phenotype is eliminated. Okay, so it is rare selection. This kind of selection is rare selection. This point you should have to remember. Okay, for example, Darwin finches. Example I am telling, observe carefully. Darwin finches. What you called? Darwin finches. Okay, big size. Big. Darwin finches, big size. Okay, big size. In relation to seed size. In relation to seed size inhabiting what you called Galapagos Islands. What you called islands. So which are extreme big shapes are there, they are only survived. So this and very important. Now you see, observe carefully, like this destructive. What I am telling is a destructive selection I am telling, see now. Okay, like this. So which one is survived? Extremes are survived, and middle one is less. Okay, remember here the big size is extreme. Here big size of Darwin finches is extreme, means very good to take the seeds and changing what you call according to the size of the grain, their base sizes. That's why they survived. Which one maintaining always common? Okay, that are not survived, not selected. What they mentioned is, see, homogeneous environment changes into suddenly heterogeneous. Some changes happening in the environment. This type of selection will be operational. Both extreme phenotypes. This one is selected. This one is selected. And whereas individuals average, this is average phenotype is eliminated. So this is a rare selection. Darwin finches big size in relation to seed size. And so this seed side here, seed side extreme. So they are changing extremely to get the seed. So that's why they are surviving. Which one is moderating? They are not survived. Okay, they are not survived. So not eliminated. One more example I am telling to you. Here you know very well moths. White moth survived and black moth survived. You know, pepper moth is there or not? Industrial melanism. Here white moths before what you called in the villages. Okay, villages, and black moths in the cities because of industrialization. But normal, which one, white and black or moderate one, completely eliminated. Moderate color or middle color is there, in the sense they completely eliminated. So this point also one of the example for what you called disruptive selection. Which one is extremes only survive, and which one, average one, will be eliminate. Average colors, anything is there, in the sense, for example, for understanding, any average colors are there, in the sense they will be eliminate. Extremes only can survive. Okay children, this is one of the important concept. Next one, two major group of selections are there. Two major group of what you call sexual selection or other type group of selection. Next one I am telling one small point. What you called group of selection. Next one, what you called the sexual selection. Also there. Group of selection or other types of selections. The two major group of selections are what you called altruism. And also kin selection. These all are sex related selection, and another one is group of selection. So altruism and kin selections also there in the group of selections. Okay, children. So next class we will meet with the another concept that is called gene flow. Next class we will meet with the another concept that is called gene flow. Thank you, children.